Hello, everybody. So today I wanted to talk about grief groups. Earlier on, it was something that I mentioned that I might look into, but really wasn't sure if it was going to be something that I wanted to do. And so I put it off for a little bit and then started looking into like Facebook groups to see kind of what was available just online. Because with kids, it's hard to like make time to go out and be able to meet with a group, especially with some of the groups being at least 45 minutes away from where I live. So hour and a half round trip plus however long the group is. So I started looking online, and the stuff I found on Facebook was interesting. One, a lot of them are for people that have lived their like fullest life, and people are dying at old age as expected. And those groups, for this situation, they aren't helpful. They cause quite a bit of pain. I noticed for myself, and other people that have looked have mentioned the same thing, that they celebrated their 50th anniversary and things like that, and that it's like all those things that you longed to do and that you won't do. So I found a lot of groups that were like that. Are just kind of open to everyone. I also found a lot of widowed groups that are open, but then they're filled with like all these dating stuff, and so that was a no. And then I found some that were for parents, and the one that I found that's all right, it's still not a great fit. There's a lot of dwelling in agony, and I'm looking for positive. I'm looking for other experiences that people are wanting to live, wanting to be happy. Obviously, we're sad about losing our person, but I'm trying to find a place that has that mindset of this is what it is. We have to keep going. We have to live our best life. That's what our person wanted us to do. And so I found a close one that's for younger parents, and that's pretty good. There's still a lot of that like excessive depression or sadness, which I completely understand that there's a lot of people that just have a hard time looking for that positive life beyond the loss of their person, even with having kids and stuff. And so I'm really trying to find that, and I haven't found something specific. I found a couple people online through some of those groups that kind of have the same mindset, and they're looking for that positive. So I found a couple individual people that I can chat with, and that's really, really helpful. So we kind of have some same perspectives on life and on kids and on death. And so that's really helpful to find that and be able to have those conversations. And in the groups in Facebook, still able to go in and share my story, share questions that I have to get other people's feedback. And so I'm able to find some support in that respect. But I think like anything in Facebook, if you stay in it for too long, you kind of end up in this like rabbit hole or doom scrolling. And so I only jump in there a little bit every once in a while. What I did find, and I'm going to thank Sarah because she actually found it, for Braden, is the Dougy Center. And the Dougy Center has in-person and online resources, so make sure you check them out if you need them. But it's specific for kids that have lost their adult. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a parent, and it's not based on illness. It's they've lost their adult. And so we signed up Braden for group, and that's every other Tuesday. And what's cool is the parents do their own group upstairs. It's facilitated, but really, as adults, he lets us just kind of start the conversation, and then if there is a silence of more than a minute, he'll come up with a theme or a topic, and we'll talk. And what's amazing is we're all within a similar age range. Our kids are all within a similar age range because that's how the kids groups work. And so we're able to talk about the struggles, talk about the sadness, talk about the happiness, talk about the events, the mind fog that happens. Oh my God. We're able to talk about all these different things. And there are some tears, but there's a lot of laughing, and we're laughing at ourselves because we are all struggling in similar ways. I think all of us have 2 or 3 kids, and all of us are trying to figure out how to do this solo parenting gig. And yes, I understand that people have solo parented since the beginning of children, and I get that. And there's people that do it amazingly well. Those of us that lost our person, we're just learning how to do it. We're learning to pick up all the tasks. We're learning to, so for me and Sarah, we balanced each other. I was this way, she was this way, and we worked really well together and gave our kids a really nice balance in everything we did. We were on the same page. No was no, yes was yes. All of that stuff, all those decisions we made about our kids were on the same page. But we were able to discuss some of those decisions and figure out what was best for the kids. It wasn't just me and my decision or her and her decision. It was always a team effort. And so in this group, we are all learning to take that team effort, make it a solo effort, and try to incorporate our person's thoughts to the best of our ability into those decisions. Like trying to understand where I was making mistakes or where I was being too extreme or where I was stressed out. Trying to take those moments that I remember that I had with Sarah and then inserting her, hey, let's think about this, or what about looking at it this way, or, these different kinds of thought processes. So what's neat is we're all doing that. And so a couple times a month, we get to check in with each other and be like, hey, how did that go? And now I'm struggling with this. What do you guys think? So we don't necessarily have our person, but we have kind of a team, kind of a board or something that can help us, help guide each other in how we're looking at what we are doing now as parents. And it's cool because it's not just about, correcting each other or giving advice. In fact, we avoid advice. It's just about shooting ideas. It's about trying to understand what's going on and knowing what it feels like to be in those shoes. And so it's really cool to sit there face to face with this group of people and talk and ask questions and get feedback and share. So Dougy Center has been like the best option I've found. Unfortunately for parents, it's based on your kids. So if your kids are too young to do it, then they can't. I think it starts at 5 or 6. And then as they get older, they go to a different group. So I think it's like 6 to 11 and then 12 to maybe 18. I don't know. I haven't had to look that far yet. But it's there, and it's a great resource, and it offers a place for us parents to chat as well, a place for the kids, which is beautiful because Braden has really been able to open up with these other kiddos and kind of feel like he's not alone. It's a place that he can let down his guard, and I love that. So yeah, the group situation is different for everyone. Especially with grief, and it's a matter of finding what works, what fits. And there's a lot of groups out there, and I've been seeing more attempts at creating groups within school systems, which is pretty awesome because then they have that resource right there. Groups for young adults or young parents, younger, so they're able to be with people that are in similar situations, because the death of a person impacts us differently based on the relationship of that person. So the death of Sarah impacted me differently than the death of my grandma, than the death of my mom would, than the death of my brother would, or the death of one of my children. They're all different, and they're all going to impact me differently at some point in my life. Hopefully not my children. I should be the one to go first. So yeah, so hopefully if you are struggling to find a group, you'll keep looking and find something that works for you. That's the thing, is it doesn't matter what works for me or anyone else. It's a matter of finding something that works for you as an individual. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. Have a wonderful day, morning, night, wherever you are, and remember to be kind and make good choices.